Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah is inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
Grace and peace, Black family. This is Vicky Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. And I want you to get ready for the new Master Elements project, The Spear and the Shield.
This vaccine isn't experimental. It's like a dandelion. You overlooking for their weird science.
DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God have taken this time during the pandemic to carefully craft the soundtrack to Black empowerment with hot tracks like God Mine, featuring Sadat X of the legendary group Brand Nubians.
We never die. I made an ancestral shrine. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen, I'm a law in the person of Sincere Love the God. That mean your arms too short like Carl Anthony Shaw.
God painted me black.
God painted me black. Thanks for that. I'm a bitch.
A letter to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing.
I say to the ancestors. Dear Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, I just wanted to thank you for all the lessons you left us. So yes, I'm more than grateful.
And the controversial song Buck Breaking God today.
Why every black show they gotta have a transgender? Either I'm crazy or this gotta be a planned agenda.
Get ready, Black family. This is a much needed project. This is The Spear and the Shield.
What would you think about a parent whose children are hungry? They let them starve. Likewise, here in South Carolina's 6th Congressional District, we are the 6th poorest district out of 435 total as of the year 2021. And yet, where is our Congressman, James Clyburn? I can tell you, he says he will be in California, in North Carolina, in Florida, and Georgia. But what about the needs of South Carolinians? I was born here, I was raised here, I live here, and I'm going to be here. You will never have to ask, where is Marcel?
Black America. While we celebrate symbolism of having a black woman in the White House and a black woman in the Supreme Court, right now as we speak, black women are the most likely to lose their house. Black men have the shortest lives, black children have the highest suicide rate, and even though we are around 15 to 20% of the population, we are over 55% of those living in the streets. We are going to be third-class citizens in the nation we built. We better wake up and vote for real policy. Vote for Greg Marcel Dixon. Repair Black America to fix America.
Ramon, now that we got that out the way, my brother, talk to me about with everything going on right now with the you know, so many people making a transition to the afterlife.
Yeah.
You know, some people call it death.
Yeah.
You know, there's many terms for it, transitioning or leaving this dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what the ancient Egyptians, since you're able to decipher that, and you said since you're able to decipher that, you could decipher a word, you could decipher a paragraph, you could decipher a whole text.
Mm-hmm.
According to the text, what did it say about, because one thing we often hear is that you never been in the afterlife, so we don't really know what happens when we're going.
Exactly.
But what I want to ask you is, according to the text and what you read, what goes on once we leave this realm and go to the other realm, my brother, according to the ancient text?
All right. So what you have to understand, everything goes back to this concept that they call ma'at. Everything they believe, not believe, we got to use that word believe. Believe meaning you just listen or regurgitate what somebody says. Understanding is knowing why. So they had an understanding that everything came in this duality. You had physicality and non-physicality. You had up, you had down. You had life, you had death, you had tall, you had short, you have hot, you have cold. So they notice a lot of things in this world comes in a duality phase. So they realize we have a physical existence that we come here to learn for a period of time. And then we have a non-physical existence. It's like a balance. You can't just, it's like they're saying you can't just have physicality and then non-physicality means nothing. They believe non-physicality was equally another form of schooling. Just like you have this physical school, the physical people you meet in this life, the physical obstacles you have to go through, the physical triumphs you get, the physical failures you get, you have to equally now balance it out with a spiritual journey, a spiritual lesson, spiritual trials. Basically, you're trying to get your soul to reach this equilibrium phase. And that's why this ma'at concept is what they were very obsessed with everything throughout their daily life. So according to them, we're made up of 5 parts. We're made up of a soul, we're made up of a body, we're made up of our DNA, a DNA from your parents, both your parents. You're made up of your zodiac sign, what traits you have. Certain people seem to have certain traits, and you're made up of your experience, all the traits you picked up while you were here. So those are literally your 5 parts: your soul, your body, your family, the DNA you have while you're in the physical world, the zodiac sign that gives you the traits and characteristics you have that can be repeated in many humans, then the experience you have. What made you scared of water? What made you such a fast runner? All the things that you picked up here is a part of what people think of you now. So these are the 5 parts that make up, they believe, a person. So while we're here, we're basically here they thought of Earth was like a school. And we're in this in-between phase between the underworld and the world of the divine. The divine was the unseen world, the world up in the sky, and then you have this spirit world. That's the world that is an unseen world where spirits reside, and we're the ones in between. We're in between the deities that maintained in the universe, and then below us we have spirits and ancestors, and we're in the middle trying to learn our lessons from the physical world. So when we transition, we become one with the spiritual world, so we can become one back with the divine universe itself. So that's a quick summary of the concept that they came up with, and not just them. When you study most of the traditional Aboriginal civilizations like the Maya, the Indus civilization, the Chinese civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization, they had similar understandings, but because the languages changed, the environment changed, their features changed, skin tone changed based on where you are on the planet. But at the ground, their understanding of the spirit world, ancestral world was a real thing to them. Ancestors were very real. It wasn't superstition. For thousands of years, they had shrines to deceased people in India, in Kemet, in Mesopotamia, in the Mayan culture. So they believe we're here to learn these lessons. It doesn't know if you're going to be here for 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. We're all here on our different time zones, and we're here to pick up lessons to get our souls to get to a next level of existence. And you transition, you go to the spirit world in like another stage of waiting, meaning by the time you get to the spirit world, your soul is trying to decide, did it pick up enough? Did it learn enough information? Is it ready to be done with the physical world, or does it have more lessons to learn? And this is where the whole cycle of this reincarnation concept comes from. The problem is, every time a soul comes here, it gets a brand new ka. Kas are basically our physical vehicles. You can think of it, the ka is symbolized by 2 hands that are supposed to represent our physical bodies. And the ka basically was looked at as a vehicle, a temporary vehicle created through a woman's womb, created through the DNA of your mother and your father that gave you this vessel for your soul to occupy. You have to think of it, a car. In the modern world, we can say it's a car. A car is almost like you're saying the same thing, a car. And then we get these cars in our soul. We can say the soul is the driver in the car. So you can say, I want a black car, white car, yellow car. Basically you're choosing different cars you need. And the soul itself, you're the driver in this car. And then you use this car for 20, 40, 50, 80 years, traverse this physical plane. And then you decide, after you picked up all these information on this journey in this car, you decide, you can decide, it's time for you to leave this car. The car eventually gets to break down. It's called aging. We begin to break down, our health declines, our speech, our eyesight. Is this a part of the process? You can't be in these cars forever. That's why you have to decide, do I need a new car? Do I need a new body? Does my soul need more lessons? Does it need more journeys to continue its lessons? So this is where the whole concept of reincarnation comes. After you finish one journey, is your soul full? Is it feel like it had enough of this experience of being in a human body? Or is it missing certain aspects? Is it missing, did it think living in one little area, one little neighborhood for a certain couple of decades is the totality of what your experience was to be on Earth, to live in a certain neighborhood and just die, have a few friends in that little segregated group, and then that's all that needs to be about life, and then now I can go back to the universe? No, the ancients said your soul needs multiple experiences. The problem is, the car that you have now, it only lives once. Let me make that clear. So the car, this body we have now, lives once, meaning the DNA of your father, your mother will never be replicated. The DNA that was created in 1970, 1982, during that period, will never be repeated. So yeah, your car, the body does live once. So when they say you do live once, that's true. You'll never repeat yourself. Brother Rich will never be repeated. The era of Michael Jackson can never be repeated. The parents he had from the 60s can never be created again. But the driver, the Ba, now we can say the Ba is the soul, or the driver in that car can get a new car, to traverse his physical world. So
all right, did we get a little deep?
We did.
Did we get a little deep?
We did.
Shout out to my guy, Ramo Mar. That's my dude, Ramo Mar, right there. And Brother Rich, that's on Brother Rich's platform. Y'all check out Brother Rich, man. I love his interview style. I think he asks great questions and really gets the best out of the people that he interviews. So shout out to Brother Rich, Brother Ramo Mar. But welcome to another episode of SincereluvdagodCast. And happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to my co-host, Nicey Girl in the digital building. How was your Mother's Day?
Low key. So both my kids are at work. But so one lives out of state. Then I have my teenager. But they bought me a Louis bag, so I'm cool. And of course, wish me a happy Mother's Day. So I felt the love when they ordered me that bag and sent me the tracking information. So proud mom. But yeah, I had otherwise low key. My mom, she's actually out of state as well. To those that do not know, my sister has cancer, breast cancer, but she is finishing up. She has 2 more sessions of chemo and she's completely done with chemo. So yay to that. You're going to be completely done. F cancer. So my mom decided to go out there and
Godspeed to your sister.
Thank you.
For sure. But yeah, man, I wanted to open it up with that clip, man, because we talking about the death of Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into that in just a second. But I wanted to open it up with that concept, you know what I mean? Death usually comes in threes. And so with the passing of Kevin Samuels, I know a lot of people had experienced some passing in their personal life as well. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let's talk about this concept of death as we open up the show today. But y'all go check out that whole interview because it gets real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Happy Mother's Day to you all. What's going on, Dawn Bishop, Kid Gravity, Nikki the God in the building? I see you.
Hey, y'all.
Yep.
Speaking of death coming in threes, I had a close family friend. I call her my cousin because we literally grew up together. She's my sister-in-law's cousin, but we've literally known each other since we were not even teenagers. And we're, I think, a year apart. And she was unfortunately found dead on Cinco de Mayo, actually the same day as Kevin Samuel. So it was weird. We had did our show and gone on about our business, and I got the call that night. I was like, hey, Margie was found dead today, like hysterical. The crazy part about it, you guys, a week and a half prior to that, my sister-in-law was here. Everybody was just kind of in my house, my nephew, my brother, we all at my house chilling. And Margie called my sister-in-law just out of the blue. They hadn't spoken in a long time. And she was just like, I love you guys. You guys are my sisters. She was asking about everybody. Everybody got a chance to kind of make their rounds and talk to her on the phone. And a week and a half later, she was gone.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, 1 second. Somebody's asking for the link to that that full interview. Let me grab that real quick. What the hell? Hold on. But make sure y'all hit the like button. Yeah. Make sure that you all are subscribed to this YouTube channel. If you're watching us on another platform, head on over to YouTube, type in Sincere Love to God, and make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you could be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes. This is Sincere Love to GodCast, for those of you that don't know.
And tell a friend. Invite 3-5 folks over here today. You know, they need to hear this too. We're about to go deep today.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's going to be a bit of a controversial one, man. You know, some of the topics that we're going to talk about. Like I said, we're going to talk about the passing of Kevin Samuels. We're going to talk about James Clyburn's fish fry that took place in South Carolina over the weekend, and some of the B1 family had pulled up at the fish fry as well.
Pull up summer came early.
Shout out to Jason Black,
right there,
Marcel Dixon, some of the other family members that was out there as well, holding it down on code. And we're going to talk about the situation that's been going on with Whack 100 and the Nation of Islam, specifically Brother Ben X. You know, him and Brother Ben X kind of got into it on Clubhouse, and that's been kind of an ongoing thing the last couple of days. So we're gonna get into all of that today, amongst some other topics that are happening in the news, if we can get to more. If we can get to more. Well, let's get right into the Kevin Samuels stuff, man.
Yeah, let's get into it. You know, rest in peace to that brother, by the way. You know, condolences to his family, because at the end of the day, whether you agree or disagree, you know, with what his messages were, he still has a family. And so with that, I'm still going to say rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. You know, I ain't here to wish death on anyone or celebrate it.
Right. I agree with that 100%. RP to that brother. And by the way, the link to that video I played on the intro is in the chat for whoever was asking for that. Gravity said Marcel is debating an anti-reparations MAGA black women on Tuesday. Okay. That should be interesting. That should be interesting. And you see he was on
Boyce.
Dr. Boyce's channel.
You know, so they always find either a mammy or a coon, you know, to talk against something. It's always like you expect it, obviously, from them, but they sure know how to handpick some Negroes to come and talk against something specifically for their own people. It never ceases to amaze me how these Negroes just come out to tap dance and cartwheel for these people. It just never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, weirdo shit, man.
Yeah, very.
Weirdo shit. But yeah, so like we were saying, we'll talk about the Clubhouse stuff a little bit later, Dawn Bishop. But we're gonna start off with the Kevin Samuels stuff. So like we were saying, RP to that brother. And so there's been a lot of controversy, you know, surrounding that brother's death. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were celebrating his death, particularly a lot of women that I saw, black women, were like really celebrating the brother's death. You know what I'm saying? Like hallelujah and amen and
calling it karma.
That part of it I didn't really understand. You know what I'm saying? I know that the brother was a polarizing figure, and just to be clear off top, let me just let y'all know, I was not tapped in with him like that.
Me neither.
I saw most of the stuff that went viral. You know what I'm saying? And I've criticized some of the stuff that I heard right here on this channel, on my YouTube, on my Instagram and Twitter and all of that. I've let my criticism be known about some of the stuff that I heard that I didn't agree with. But I've also bigged up and reposted some of the clips that I did agree with, that I felt were valuable. You know what I'm saying? And so before we even get into the controversy part, I just want to say my thoughts and feelings about the brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was not all the way tapped in with him like that. I wasn't sitting there watching all of his broadcast and all of that stuff. Like, you know, I'm not in need of any dating advice. Any dating advice. I'm married, been married for a minute now. I'm out the game. You know what I'm saying? So the content is not really for me, but like I said, I've seen some of the clips that went viral and stuff like that. And when he first really took off on social media, I went to his page and I took a little trip through it. You know what I'm saying? I went back to see who the brother was, try to get an idea and a feel for who he was. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he started some important conversations in the community, some conversations that needed to be had. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with what he was saying or whether you disagree with what he was saying, the conversations, in my opinion, were necessary. You know what I'm saying? I think women needed to hear some of the harsh criticism that he would put out there. The men that he would criticize as well. And I'm not hearing a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he has criticized Black men as well. You know what I'm saying? But he found his niche. You know what I'm saying? He found what made his content pop was dealing with the females. You know what I'm saying? I think he started off really making content for men. From what I saw, he was teaching men how to tie their tie, put on cologne, and, you know, different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, his page wasn't growing as rapidly until he started specifically focusing on the women and the issues in the Black community with Black women specifically. And so, again, you ain't got to agree with everything the man say. You could chew the meat and spit out the bones, or you could just not watch the man altogether. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of the people who was out here celebrating were some of his main audience. Y'all know more about him than me.
Right.
Y'all could tell me.
Or people that saw the same clips, right, that we saw. And if you know, allow some of those clips to trigger you, it could be some of those people just going by those viral clips. And of course, all the viral clips are going to be the ones where he was kind of really digging in the hardest. That doesn't mean, although it may have been harsh, that it was a lie or wasn't the truth. There's a lot of things that women need to do. You know what I'm saying? And even when I saw it, I was like, this right here isn't specifically for me. You know what I'm saying? But even I know a woman or women that need to, you know, do X, Y, Z or fall into that category. So I could still, again, chew the meat, spit out the bone. And I just never tapped into him because I never felt like he was speaking to me.
And I want to say something about people who are just pointing out his delivery. You know what I'm saying? And the harshness in his delivery and all of that. To me, that's a bogus argument. You know what I'm saying? If that's the issue that you had was the way he delivered it, but you don't really have a problem with what he was saying. You're saying there was a problem with how he said it. Then you just need to grow up, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody got to pet you and talk nice to you or whatever. And if that's what made his content pop, if that's what he saw was getting him the views or whatever the case may be, more power to him. You know what I'm saying? It was smart of him to double down. I listened to Jason Black. He talk harsh. You know what I'm saying? He'll go in on you in a minute. Male, female, old, young, it don't matter. You saying some bullshit, that ain't gonna chew your head off. You know what I'm saying? Tariq Nasheed could be harsh sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't gotta deliver the message the way you want them to deliver. If it doesn't resonate with you, find somebody else to listen to. Find somebody else. Change the channel. You know what I'm saying?
I heard so many women though in these spaces like, you know, I just didn't like the way he would say, you know, talk about fat women because I'm fat. And okay, well, go to the gym, eat better. You know what I'm saying? Do something about that because you don't have to be fat. And I'm not saying, and let me just rephrase that, you know, there are certain medical conditions, you know, medications and stuff like that that can trigger, you know, certain things. But if that isn't the reason why you're fat and you're fat because you're lazy and trifling and just don't want to get off the couch and do anything about it, don't get mad when someone calls that out. Don't get mad. Don't get bitter. Get better.
And staying healthy and fit ain't easy out here for men or women. But especially for women, you know what I'm saying? The standard American diet is a killer, you know what I'm saying, for Black people. But, you know, if somebody's pointing out the problem with that and how it's affecting us as a people.
And our relationships with each other.
It's affecting the reality of our situation. I can't get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak from a fat woman's perspective because I'm not a fat woman, obviously.
And neither am I.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a very fit, handsome man. You know what I mean? So I don't know how fat women feel when they're hearing that, But again, they don't have to sit there and listen to it. And so I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the people who didn't like Kevin Samuels. I don't have a problem with the people who say they're not mourning his death. That's all fine. But the people that's out there celebrating, I'm trying to figure out what the prize is. What did you win?
What did you win?
What did you win now that the man is dead? Why is this such a great thing for you? How did your life change now that he's not here no more?
Right. My thing is too, saw people posting stuff saying this is his karma. So you mean to tell me none of these race soldiers, George Zimmerman, none of them had karma? Where they karma at? Because they did what they did and they still tooting and pooting out here, family members hugging and kissing them and forgiving and everything. So where's the karma for that?
Right.
Because they did more than hurt someone's feelings, hurt the feelings of their loved ones. They took the lives of someone's loved one in a very racist and horrible way. So where's that energy for them?
Right.
Where's the celebration? I just don't understand. We lost, y'all. This right here is not a win for anybody to celebrate that stuff. And it also, our sister, Erica Lachey, she made a good point. When we're out here in these public platforms, celebrating the death of another Black person, specifically a Black man, you don't think that these white supremacists see that and like, oh, we did a good damn job. We got them. We don't even have to do shit anymore. They do it for us. It's not cool to sit here and my thing is, even if you liked it or felt some kind of way, you don't have to go on the public platform and say, good, he dead. Right. What does that do for you?
Right. That's the part for me that I was criticizing, just to be clear, because I put up a post. On my post, I said, nobody in codified Black society is celebrating Kevin Samuels' death, only the goofies. Now, that's not me saying that codified means that we're mourning the death of Kevin Samuels. I'm not saying that. Like I said, I didn't follow him like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't big on Kevin Samuels like that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is celebrating the death of this Black man as if it's some type of victory for you personally or for Black society as a whole, that's some off-code shit, especially publicly, like she said. You going out of your way to post and make content celebrating the death of a Black man. You know what I'm saying? This man has a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't hurt nobody. You ain't like what he said. You ain't like what he said or what he had to say. But I ain't see y'all celebrating the death of none of these white supremacists out here who have actually done things to harm Black society and Black individuals.
Right.
And I ain't see y'all celebrating none of their death like this. Like this, that shit corny as fuck to me. And that's all I was saying on my post. I wasn't saying Kevin Samuels is the greatest person in the world. Everybody should be mourning his death. And no, I'm not saying that. I had a problem with a lot of things that I heard from Kevin Samuels.
I mean, likewise.
You know what I'm saying? When he was out here talking about Black women are the least attractive, and he was trying to make it scientific.
I didn't even see that part, to be honest.
He was trying to make it seem like it was a scientific fact. Like he was breaking down the mathematics of how your face is structured and all this shit. Yeah, that was some bullshit. Yeah, that was some bullshit. I'm like, come on. Nah, we ain't doing that. And then also, a lot of times he would make these comparisons with Black people to other groups of people, which is some cool shit also. You know what I'm saying? Right. Martin Luther King broke that down way back in the 60s. Foundation of Black Americans specifically, we are unique and a special group, and don't compare us to nobody. We're incomparable.
We are incomparable. And no one has gone through what we've been through. No families have gone through what our families have gone through. Our families are destroyed because they destroyed it. Let's be very, very clear. Where's the science in that? When you say stupid shit like that, also give the rest of the context into why we're in the conditions that we're in, which we can't say we are lately trying to repair those situations as well.
Indeed.
And fix those situations, but don't do that. That's not cool.
And we always have. Again, our unique history and circumstances can't be compared to none of these other groups. And when you're talking about the reason why Black people are in certain situations, certain conditions, due to their own, you know what I'm saying, culture and their own behavior patterns and their own relationship practices and all of that, there can be a certain degree of truth to that and a certain degree of self-accountability that we can take, but you got to put it in its full context because, again, no one has been targeted specifically the way that we have been. No one has been mistreated and resources maldistributed to everybody besides us, but us. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's specific to our group. So when you comparing us to people who have benefited from white privilege, from people who have benefited from being manufactured into a buffer class situation, now that's some bullshit that I can't get with. And he's done that. You know what I'm saying? I've heard him do shit like that.
And he understands the history of our people too, but he did that for the views, for the clicks as well. And maybe, you know, he was a coon, right? Maybe he really legit felt that way, or maybe it was just something, you know, to kind of stir the pot and bring, you know, people to his page. I don't know, because again, I've never seen that dude, but you cannot, if you are into, you know, bed bucking, you know, do that on your time, bro, but do not bring black women or shade or bring down black women because that's what your preference. Wasn't he married 2 times to 2 black women? Doesn't he have black children?
I've heard that, but I don't know for sure what's real and what's not. I've seen people saying that on social media, but again, I wasn't tapped in with him like that, so I don't know. But Mark says, I hate to say it, our black community lacks morals and they hate, he says they, like, so he must not be black. They hate being held accountable. Now, black people, black people are the most moral people in the country. Black people are the only ones that have been upholding the moral standard of what American society proclaims to be on paper, of what a democracy is supposed to be. Black people have been the perfect example of that the whole time that we've been here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Since the inception of this nation, we've been the ones fighting against the injustice of this system, holding America to account for who she says that she's supposed to be on paper. Right. Who's more moral than us? Black people are the only ones where you can move into our neighborhoods and nobody's gonna attack you. We'll shop with you, spend our money with you, treat you like a human being. And it doesn't happen in reverse. Right. So it doesn't happen in reverse. You can't go open up no business in Chinatown and people treat you like a human being and shop with you and spend their money with you. Go set up shop in a white community and people treat you like a human being and all of that. That doesn't happen in reverse. Period. So no, I ain't going for that. I don't accept that part. We have been the accountability part, and that's not everybody. That's still not all of us, some of us, right? But the whole moral part, I can't agree with that. Right. No. We have been moral to a fault. We have been moral to a fault because we out here trying to play the game fair by the rules, and ain't nobody else following the rules. Period. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why we're behind. That's part of the reason why we're playing catch up, because we've been trying to be taking the moral high ground. When they go low, we go high and all of that bullshit. Exactly. No, I can't go for that, brother Mark. No, Mark, you got to go somewhere with that, bro. I don't know who misinformed you or what black people you're around. What's up, man? Mm-hmm. What's up, man? What's up? It's getting close to that bedtime. Nobody don't want to see your drawers, man. Say peace. Say peace. They've been trying to get over here, give us a tease. What's going on? All right, get out of here, man. Get out of here. You interrupted. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that was my only thing. That was my only thing. Like, damn, y'all celebrating the man's death? Like, where they do that at? Where do they do that at? You know what I'm saying? Also, where are these talking points coming from where black people are the most immoral and don't like accountability? So basically you're saying, you know, all the degenerate stuff that they like to show on social media or the news, that's all black people. They want to put us in this one big old negative box.
oh, Black people don't like accountability. That's why there's a high rate of incarceration amongst Black men, because they don't want to be held accountable. Or that's why there's this high rate of divorce, because, X, Y, and Z. Like, you guys only want to highlight the most negative part of Black people, Black men specifically, a lot of the time, and then make that, the everybody box.
Right. And listen, man, Black people are held accountable more than anybody else. Black people don't get away with nothing in this society.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? We're the most accountable. You know what I mean? Now, you're talking about us being accountable to ourselves and hearing criticism on how we could do better, things that we could do to lift ourselves up. There is definitely some room for criticism there. There's definitely a lot of room for growth there, things that we can do internally, you know what I'm saying, to build ourselves up. And the bottom line is, everybody can't go.
Period.
Everybody can't go. Everybody ain't going to make it. And stop taking those off-code Sambo Negroes and making those the representatives of Black society. Look at the Black people. Look at most of them are. That's a fact too. That's a fact too. But look at the people in Black society who are doing the right thing, who are trying to uplift themselves, their family, the community, and let those be the representatives for who we are. Right. You know what I'm saying? White people don't do that. White people don't allow white trash, trailer trash, to be the representatives of white people. They don't allow the meth heads to be the representatives of whiteness. That's just that meth head over there. He ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us. And that's how we should be. That crackhead over there ain't got shit to do with the rest of us. Nothing. That little hood rat over there is not the representative for Black women. Period. That's how we should be. We need to distinguish ourselves. We need to, you know what I mean, highlight what's positive in our own community, in our own society. You know what I mean? And we need to be using our media to do so.
Right, and we also need to hold people that's displaying trash within our communities, hold them accountable for what it is that they're posting all the time, especially if they only have a history of showing negativity and not the positivity. It's up to us to, call them out on their BS. No, we're not going for that. We need more context to this. Whatever the case, we're not going to allow you to only put bullshit up about our community, even if it's other people that look like us.
Right. And also, again, like I said, there's definitely room for criticism, you know what I'm saying, within Black society, constructive and righteous criticism. But also, there should be room for grace as well. You got to consider what we've been through as a people. When you look at our condition, you can't just say, damn, Black people, man, y'all just can't get together. You have to consider what we've actually been through. We've been through the worst atrocity in the history and recorded history of man. We survived that. The fact that we here is a miracle within itself. So grace needs to be shown. I'm here for the criticism, but grace needs to be shown as well.
Right. Especially to Black men. We have this whole movement of Black girl magic, sister girl, Chucks and pearls. Like, we have all these great things, right, when it comes to Black women. But as soon as a Black man, especially a masculine Black man, does something positive, we don't hear about it at all. Now, if it's some, feminine, man in a dress, of course, they're going to highlight that all day. They do not like to showcase a strong, masculine Black man that's married to a Black woman in a positive light. They will not show that. Look at the commercials nowadays.
Right.
Look at what we're seeing. They're literally trying to erase the Black man from everything.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's by design. That's intentional. And they got a lot of minions wearing our uniform that's out here helping them get that done.
Whack.
Did you say whack?
I said it.
All right, so we're gonna go there now.
We can segue right on into this whack nigga.
All right. I got I don't know. I got some things to say about this whole whack 100 100 situation with the situation that took place with Brother Ben X and NOI and all of that. So let me just give people context who don't know what's going on, right? So WAC 100 was in a room. I don't know if it was WAC's room. I think it was WAC's room.
It is,
and Brother Ben.
He's in Clubhouse more than anything. He's in these Clubhouse rooms with a bunch of youngsters trying to make names for themselves in the hood. Let me start there.
Okay, so I believe it was WAC's room, and Brother Ben came in the room or whatever. Brother Ben got on the mic, and from what I understand, they spoke for about an hour or so. But 10 minutes of that conversation hit social media where WAC 100 was kind of he was questioning Brother Ben about what happened with the money from the Million Man March back in 1995.
And
when Brother Ben
was 1 year old.
Yeah, Brother Ben was in diapers at the time that it happened. And so from the part that I heard, I didn't hear the whole hour conversation. I just heard the 10-minute clip, right? And so from that, to me, the question came out of left field. You know what I'm saying? Brother Ben was talking about what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? What he's trying to do out here in the community and all of that. And it was like WAC was looking for something negative to say, to bring up. Like he didn't want to focus on all this positive shit that Brother Ben was talking about. What about all that money? What happened to all that money back in 1995 with the Million Man March? I always scratch my head about that, he said. I always scratch my head about that. Where that money went? And then Brother Ben started to try to explain, because even though Brother Ben was only 1 year old when it took place, he's a prominent member of the Nation of Islam, and he could speak to what happened, because that question is not new. WAC is not the first person to ask that question. That's a question that's been around for years. The answer has been around for years. The receipts have been around for years. So Brother Ben began to explain, look, what happened was this. You know what I'm saying? It cost this much money to put it on. This how much money was made. Here go the receipts. And WAC was not really letting him explain. He was like, oh, now you trying to dance, this, that, and the third. He kept cutting him off, not letting the brother speak, being WAC. From the part of WAC that I know, the viral part of WAC. I don't know the man. I don't follow him like that again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tapped in with him on Clubhouse. So the part of that we always see of him going viral, of him, being extra thugged out, that over thugged out mentality, you know what I'm saying? He started going in on Brother Ben. You know what I'm saying? And so it got a little heated or whatever the case may be. And then Brother Ben kept his cool. You know what I'm saying? He stayed on his square, and he spoke intelligently. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he got a chance to get a word in, he was speaking intelligently. He kept an even tone, and it kind of changed WAC's tone. It kind of broke WAC down a little bit. Like WAC went from the rah-rah shit, so he kind of calmed down a little bit, like, okay. And then, he let Brother Ben explain some of what he was trying to do as far as digital real estate, hereafter farms, and then the conversation kind of tapered off to a cool note. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the 10-minute clip, it ended off kind of like on a cool note. But a lot of people still weren't feeling WAC's energy
even
to begin with. Why you even came at him like that to begin with? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feeling like.
Even people in the room were chiming in, was like, you know what, I wasn't there at the Million Man March, but when I heard about it and I did my research on it, it made me want to change. That was some positive stuff that was going on that, happened during that time. So people were chiming in there, and no one said anything to defend WAC at the time. Everyone was more like, no, that was some good stuff that was happening. I wasn't there, I was young too, but now that I've researched it, that was some positive stuff. And I love the fact that Brother Ben said that, this wasn't just for the Nation of Islam. This was, we call a million men to collectively make an oath that we were all going to do something for the Black community. So this wasn't just about what the Nation of Islam was going to do. This was about what all of us are going to do. So it takes a village, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I can't stand. I cannot stand for people such as a WAC to always point the fingers and call out people, especially about money, because that's a lot of times what these white supremacists do. Well, look at all that money you got. Tariq, you know how they do him a lot when we hear him on his calls and stuff. That's what that kind of reminded me of. And then he made this comment about, well, if I wanted to do business with you, is it only black people? Because, I don't really like to do stuff with black people like that. I like to, do business with white folks, because white folks do this and that.
Yeah, he did say some shit like
that.
He was saying some cool shit. There was some cool energy in there. There was some bully energy in there. And like I said, this whole over thugged out shit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people wasn't feeling it. One being Jay Electronica.
I loved it.
And so Jay Electronica went on Twitter and called out Wack, like, yo, you want to press something? You want to press somebody? Press me. I'm here for it. I want the smoke. Leave Brother Ben alone. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's our little brother. He doing his thing out here. He ain't with the rah-rah shit, but I'm with the rah-rah shit. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? You want the smoke, bring it to somebody who's about that life. That's basically what he was saying. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he was saying, right? And so then that turned into a few more Clubhouse rooms responded to it. And one of them I was in, Nation of Islam room on Clubhouse. It was King Cam in there. Brother Ben was in there, but he was just in the audience. He was typing in. I think he was traveling or whatever. He didn't speak. He didn't get on the mic. But it was Malcolm Flags. It was I forgot the other brother's name. Emmanuel. I think Brother Emmanuel was the one that started the room. And so they was talking about it, and they had some people who were in there. They had Wack 100's picture as their icon. Mm-hmm. And they were speaking basically on behalf of Wack 100. And so the Nation of Islam brothers was just in there saying, wanted to know what people's thoughts were. You know what I'm saying? They played some of the clip and they was getting feedback from what people's thoughts were. And so some of the people who were there representing Wack, I'm just going to say loosely representing Wack, so I guess those are people that follow him, you know what I'm saying? They tapped in with him or whatever. And a lot of them were saying that they didn't see nothing wrong with what Wack was saying. He was just asking a question. Ain't nothing wrong with asking a question. You know what I'm saying? And that, it did end off on a respectful note. And so, no big deal. No harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? And then the brothers from the nation kind of accepted that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I can see where y'all coming from with that. All right, cool. So yeah, maybe it wasn't what I thought it was. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so I spoke. I got on the mic. And I was like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that, y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was positive energy in the room, and I didn't really want to change the energy, but I was like, I gotta say how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, nah, man. I was like, the brother came on some rah-rah shit. The question was asked in bad faith.
It was.
And he was saying some cool shit overall too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Brother Ben put up his credentials. Oh, I do digital real estate. I teach people how to make money online. I'm down with Here After Farms. We just bought such and such amount of acres. We about to build a little community over here. Blah, blah, blah. He laid out all his credentials. This brother is not even 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, some of y'all on here that's advocating for Wack, I need y'all to tell me what he's done.
What has he done?
What has he done that, you know what I'm saying, that can compare with what this young brother is doing? You know what I'm saying? For him to be coming at him, questioning his integrity. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of went back and forth from there a little bit. People were saying, Wack does do good things. You know what I'm saying? And they were just talking. They was basically talking about he brings people on his clubhouse and allows them to use his platform to promote whatever they're trying to do. He helps people. I guess he has a trucking company. And he helps people get into the trucking business. He even put on some graphic artist that came to his clubhouse. I guess he hooked them up with one of the artists that he works, mainstream artists that he works with, and he actually did the album cover for this artist or whatever the case may be. So they was talking about how he puts people on and he be dropping game and all that. And so again, I don't follow Wack like that. So maybe he do. I was saying, but the side of him that we always see is this rah-rah side. You know what I'm saying? And now, is he just doing that to go viral? Is he just doing that, to get attention for himself? Or is that who he is? It's hard to tell because there's people out here that's doing positive work that don't have to do that to get the numbers.
Right. What I don't what I'm saying? He does a lot of right now, he's, the bull crap that he did about Nipsey. Now he's brought Big U, into the mix, and oh, he fed, he this, Now I have to question if you're fed too, because you know you're just too out and open, kind of with what it is that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And you come off as very fed your damn self, bro. Like the stuff that you're saying in these rooms, and I've only been in a few of them for a short period of time, and him along with other people in that room really do go in detail about street shit. So, nigga, I have to question you too. Are you fed, my nigga? Because you would be like, we know how niggas in the hood. I'm from LA, y'all. It's certain shit you can't even walk in the hood talking about. They don't do all that coming in with camera phone bullshit. It's certain things that you're not going to say, especially on these platforms, that he allows and he actually chimes in on. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right. I've seen some of it myself. Niggas threatening each other. Niggas talking about pulling up and all type of shit.
Names, everything.
You know what I mean? On these platforms, as if the feds ain't watching, as if the feds ain't listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the shit that I don't get. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas be on here. Like, I seen one clip where it was him and the dude from the Bronx.
What's his name? Hassan Campbell.
Him and Hassan, after they went on that, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but after they went on that thing with the little Jamaican nigga.
Academics.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
After they went on his show, whatever, they got into it after that. And I seen a clip with them. RP sent it to me. Where these niggas is on camera, how me and you on camera right now, beefing with each other. What motherfucker? You saying this? I'm like, what y'all doing? Like, what type of thug shit is this? This ain't no thug shit that I ever seen. This ain't no thug shit that I ever seen. Like, I'm not gonna beef with you on the phone, my nigga. Like, tell you what pull up and this, that, and the third, and what I'm gonna do to you and blah, blah, blah. Never let on camera, like, we going back and forth, threatening each other and just measuring dicks.
Right.
That shit corny to me.
Very, very corny. And then he justifies his relationship with Tekashi. Well, that's on some business. I don't ask that nigga what he doing, in the street and blah, blah, blah. When I'm on him, when we email, it's about business, it's about my money. My thing is, most niggas don't even want to make no money with a nigga like that. Let's be very, very clear.
Right. All money ain't good money.
All money ain't good money. So, you justifying, that bullshit that you're doing with Tekashi, you know what I'm saying, and bigging him up, but then you want to come at a brother like BNX who's doing positive shit in the community.
Right. You running around here with Tekashi, but you're questioning Brother Ben.
Right.
And so, again, I spoke inside the room. I let it be known where I stood. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they felt where I was coming from, but there was a lot of people that was in there advocating for WAC as well. And so there was another room that happened. I don't know when this was. I think it was over the weekend, maybe yesterday or whatever the case may be. Nation of Islam had a room, and WAC came in the room. Brother Daniel was in there. Again, the brother Emmanuel was in there. Brother Ben was in there. A few other brothers from the nation. And so WAC came in there just with the energy. Man, I thought it was all peace, man. Why y'all niggas ain't checking J Electronica and blah, blah, blah. He kept bringing up J Electronica name, trying to get niggas to speak for J Electronica. And Brother Daniel was like, yo, listen. Brother Daniel was trying to explain, yo, listen. This is what's being said here before you got in the room. This is where we stand, And he was not letting Brother Daniel speak. He kept cutting him off. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that, nigga. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Whatever question he was asking, he just wanted a yes or no answer. And like, dude, I'm a grown-ass man. You're not going to tell me how I got to answer the question.
Right.
I'm trying to explain to you where I'm coming from, and you trying to box me into this yes or no. It ain't yes or no, nigga. It's more nuanced than that. I got something else I want to say. You know what I'm saying? So him and Daniel was kind of going back and forth. Brother Ben got on the mic. He was like, listen, I ain't with all this back and forth shit. If I'm not going to be allowed to speak, I'm going to just mute my mic. You know what I'm saying? And so they kind of kicked WAC off the stage. And Brother Daniel kind of explained, no, I think it was Brother Emmanuel kind of reset the room a little bit. Then they brought WAC back on, and WAC was still with the same energy. He was trying to get the answer. His question was, after me and Brother Ben ended on some peace shit, was it wrong for J Electronica to come with the violence and all of that? He wanted a yes or no answer to that, and nobody wasn't trying to really give him a yes or no answer. They was trying to say, yo, listen, I'm not here to speak for that man. J Electronica is not in the room.
Right.
This is where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, well, fuck that. Fuck y'all niggas, eat a dick. I'm going to do my own room. Hey, I'm the one that got this room popping over here. All y'all that's here for me, come on over to my room. You know what I'm saying? My platform is bigger than y'all niggas, da da da. And so he left and went and started his own room. And him and I guess some of them young dudes that you was talking about was in there saying, yeah, the Nation of Islam niggas, man, they ducking and dodging the question. You know, they ain't really representing what they say they about and blah, blah, blah. And so the conversation went like that for a little while. And then the brother Emmanuel came and got on the mic. And this is what I love and admire more than anything else about the Nation of Islam, man. Because I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it. When it comes to conflict resolution, these brothers are the masters. And I'm talking about, I ain't even talking about Farrakhan and you know what I'm saying? Nori and some of the top captains and lieutenants and all that. And I'm talking about just the regular brothers on the street. You know what I'm saying? Because Wack, he coming with all this, you know, insulting, threatening, bullying energy. He came in and he said, listen, brother, let's explain. You know, I've been on here for about 30 minutes, man. I've been listening to you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who you were prior to this. He said, but I love your energy, brother. You know what I'm saying? I see a God in you and blah, 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 and broke Wack all the way down to the point where it did end on a peaceful note. And Wack, I have to give Wack his credit. Because Wack did turn around and say, yo, you know what? You know, I appreciate what you said. You know what I mean? It's all love, it's all peace. Much respect to you, much respect to the nation. You know what I'm saying? It was just a misunderstanding. You know what I mean? And blah, blah, like he did turn it around and you know take some accountability. He didn't have to because he could have stayed in his rah-rah bag. I'm gonna give the man some props for that. You know what I'm saying? It made me. I saw a different side of Wack on that second one. I don't know if you watched it, but I heard. I can't say saw, but listening to that second Clubhouse one.
What it is, he had no choice but to not be rah-rah anymore because they wasn't matching the energy. He's so used to these young kids because it's a bunch of youngsters, y'all, that be in his spaces. There's no real grown men in those spaces with him. You're talking about kids probably from 17, maybe to 25 that really engage with this nigga. I really feel like that's the demographic for him. You know what I'm saying? That's in those rooms. You can hear it in their voices. He's in there with a bunch of young folks. And because he's Wack and because he's connected to the industry, they feel happy to be in those rooms engaging in conversations with this nigga. And a lot of them are trying to get street cred. You know, I've been on Clubhouse a lot of times in rooms where he's not in, and it's a lot of youngsters in there, especially people from Compton, Watts, and all this kind of stuff, and they do a lot of stupid shit and say a lot of stuff, but I look at it as these are a bunch of kids on here on this platform, and they don't even understand that they just put themselves and others on a radar. They don't even understand that, but Wack does. Wack understands that's bullshit, and he's using it for what? I don't know. He's helping the feds get these little niggas locked up. I said what I said.
And I mean, I'm saying, I try to give a balanced critique and a balanced commentary. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call it like I see it, and I'm going to call it like I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some coon shit come out the man's mouth. Like, I wouldn't want to do business with him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't rock with him like that. But perhaps there is a side to Wack that we don't know. Because one of the brothers that was actually in the nation works with Wack. And he was speaking on his experience with Wack. He was like, yo, some of this stuff, you know, this is how he gets his views up and blah, blah, blah. You know, he was like, Wack is really a good brother. I worked with him in the community. We've done things together. So this is him speaking from his experience, and I can't knock that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But from what we're seeing, like, why would you want this to be your image? You know what I'm saying? If that's not who you are, why would you want this to be your image? You know what I'm saying?
You know, I didn't know anything about the trucking company or anything else, you know, the stuff that you heard prior to that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know anything outside of, you know, you used to manage artists, perhaps, you know, but everything about you was negative, and it doesn't look like a lot of industry people really mess with you like that because of the shenanigans. but we don't know anything about the good stuff that you do because everything around you or surrounded with you is negative.
And just from, you know, when I listen to people talk, man, I try to get into the psyche and the thinking of a person. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe he does have some positive things going on, but is it for the purpose of benefiting the Black community? Because he talks like he don't give a damn about the Black community. Like he's not here for no, because one of the questions that he asked was totally threw me off. He was like, so is this like an all Black thing? Because I already tried that all Black thing. Like that all Black thing. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's red flags, my nigga.
Red flags. You know, you listen to what a person say. Just let them talk. Let them talk. They're going to tell you
red flags.
Yeah. Instantly, I was like, ooh, wait a minute. Why would he say some shit like that? Publicly.
And the way he said it.
Like, the way he said it. Like he had a certain disdain, you know, for doing business with Black people. Yet hip hop is how you made your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being connected to certain Black hip hop artists is how you got on. So obviously doing business with Black people is your thing. And I also believe, like Brother Ben was telling him, you know, we do business with whoever we want to do business with. Our thing is we get the bigger cut of the pie. Oh, yeah. You know, like, now the way he said that, I was like, so you're okay with doing business with other groups as long as you get a crumb, because it came from, you can go around and say, I did business with this white person. I did business with John. John put me on, even though John gave you a crumb, versus doing business with a Brother BNX and the Nation of Islam would give you a bigger piece of the pie. You rather have that crumb from John because John is white. That made you feel empowered. I did business with a white man. He put me on, which he didn't put you on shit. You put him on, fool.
Right. And even after things calmed down with him and Brother Ben in that initial conversation, and Brother Ben was talking about Hereafter Farms and everything that he got going on and all that, at the end of it, even though Wack was like, oh, all right, cool, you know, he wasn't on the rah-rah shit no more, but he wasn't like trying to link up. He was like, you know, good luck with that type shit. Yeah. He was like, all right, good luck with that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious that, it's obvious that, you know what I'm saying, you don't care about the fate of your people. You just worried about your own self, you know what I'm saying, and you willing to do whatever. That's why you run around here with Tekashi, and that's why, you know what I'm saying.
Speaking of, I was in a space in a room, you know, today, and I heard people saying, yeah, you know, I guess the rumors are true that his mother, you know, was unfortunately a drug addict in his, you know, coming up his young life. His father was a Jamaican or whatever. Wax. His mother is American, but his father is Jamaican. Now his mother, I don't know which raised him, because his mother was pretty much on drugs his entire life from a kid.
Okay, because we was wondering if he was an FBA or not.
Right. Remember, I Googled some stuff and it comes up with him as mixed or Afro Black or something like that. It says, so it's nothing on there that actually says like he's, you know, just usually they'll just say African American. You know what I'm saying? No, it has Afro something. So I was just like, well, Afro what? So I was in a space today.
Yeah, what the hell is mixed
Afro?
Mixed Afro, whatever. It would say some weird shit. So I'm like,
and they could have just said Afro Caribbean, or it just said, you know, half Black African American and Caribbean or something like that. I don't know, but his father is Jamaican, and his real name is Miguel. I forgot the last name, but his first name is Miguel, by the way.
Miguel, that sounds like a Hispanic.
Right. Well.
So I don't know, man, but that's just my thoughts on the situation, man. Like a lot of stuff he was saying was like, all right, to me, that's not the type of person I want to have around me. That's not the type of energy that I want to have around me.
Not even business.
Saying?
Not even a business relationship. Nope.
Not at all. But much respect to Brother Ben X. Much respect to the Nation of Islam by the way that they handled that, because it could have went somewhere else. It could have went left. If everybody was on the Jay Electronica type of time, You know what I'm saying? There could be a situation right now.
Right, but they're not. They're really about Black empowerment. They're really about community. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he can be on that BS, but why even give him the time?
Nah, the reason why we ask if he's FBA or not, Don Bishop, because a lot of times when you see a lot of fuck shit going on in the community, and it be people that are from different backgrounds, it gets dumped on FBAs. So when you see a lot of ratchet shit taking place, a lot of hood rats, you see a lot of the criminal element that takes place in the hood a lot of times. People don't associate that shit with the Caribbean background or the African background unless they do something positive. If they do something positive, then they make sure to say who they are, where they're from. If they come up with some great invention, they make sure to say, "Oh, I'm Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian, I'm West African." You know, shout out to the West Africans. We did it. If somebody gets married or do anything positive, they make sure to specify where they're from. So when they do something negative, we want to make sure to specify where they're from as well, because we're not going to just allow all the dirt and all the grime to be dumped on foundational Black Americans, because that's what happens. That gets attributed to us. And so when there's fuck shit going on in Black society, we're going to point out the people who are not from here so that we can distinguish ourselves from them.
If it's our shit, we own our shit, but you're not gonna dump y'all shit on us when you don't dump the positive shit on us. It's not that we one big happy nigga when good shit happening, when graduations are happening, or when it's a doctor or something like that. They make sure it's this Nigerian American. It's not just Black.
Right. That's the reason why it matters. When somebody, you know, rapes a little girl on a train or whatever the case may be, they just Black, even if they're from, you know, Ethiopia somewhere, even if they're from Trinidad. After you rape the little girl, oh, you Black. That's all they say on the news. That's all they say, all of the media and all that. You Black. But if you graduate from Princeton, then he's Trinidadian.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're not gonna have that. We're gonna have the separation across the board. We're going to distinguish who we are, because we're in the middle of trying to clean up our act, right? We're trying to clean up our culture. And so if there's bullshit that's still taking place, we need to know if that's us or not, because we're trying to get our shit together. We're trying to sharpen up our image, you know what I'm saying, as foundational Black Americans. So that's the reason why it matters. Hopefully that makes sense.
Speaking of cleaning up the culture, I posted this on my Instagram today. Jack Harlow, who didn't want to get his shoes dirty at the Kentucky Derby, had two Black guys holding him like I don't know what you want to call this, but you know, again, I said this is what we get for inviting everyone to our culture and to the barbecues. This looked terrible to me. This was out of pocket. First of all, what you wear it for if you can't get it dirty? That's what it's for. Get it dirty. You at the Kentucky Derby. You knew it was gonna be dirty here when you got here. Nigga, bring some flip-flops. Change your shoes when you get across the dirt or something. But I'm not about to carry you like you the king of, I don't know, the trailer park. No, we're not doing that.
He said he had TD Jakes on security detail.
Right, because one of them, if you can post it here, one literally looks like he could have been TD Jakes. All BS aside, all BS aside.
I was like, wait, what?
No, like all BS aside, if it's not him, it's his brother.
Yeah, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. Which one?
Let me just put it in the room. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
man, what the hell? I didn't even see this.
Oh.
Oh wait, I can't even do it like that. Hold on a second. And this dude is corny, man. Y'all like his music? Keep it 100.
I ain't heard it, but I know of.
He got a song on the radio. He got a song on the radio right now. He sampled that Fergie song. I like the Fergie song. That
Do you see TD Jakes, brother?
I like the Fergie song, but this dude is he's not even talented. He ain't got no swag like that. Why y'all bigging this dude up, man? This type of shit irks me.
Look at TD.
This type of shit irks me.
Tithing was low on this day. That love offering was short.
Oh, my bad.
So he had to take a security detail.
Is there music playing? Should I play the audio?
It is music playing.
All right, I'll just keep it on mute. But yeah, what the hell is going on here?
You see TD? Do you see TD Jakes?
Yeah, I see TD Jakes over there. God damn it. And this is at the Kentucky Derby. God damn it.
Kentucky Derby.
I mean, are they the actual security detail or these just some random?
I think they were security detail. I do. And maybe it's security, but I don't think in the contract it says
I'll give them that.
I'll
give them that, but the optics ain't good.
At all. For the brothers. It wasn't good for the brothers to me.
Yeah, the optics ain't good. The optics ain't good.
Do shit like that. But the brothers, y'all looking goofy out here. I would have been like, nigga, let me go get your flip-flops off the car. You want me to get your flip-flops off the van, off the limo, and then you I can do that. You can walk on across, but I'm not about to carry you.
But yeah, why is Jack Harlow a thing, man? Why is Jack Harlow a thing, man? I want anybody in the chat like Jack Harlow's music. Keep it real. If you like his music, you like his music. I haven't heard anything that I was like, okay, I can see. Because sometimes I might not like an artist, but I can see why other people like them. You know what I'm saying? I know everything ain't for me, but I'm a music head, so I could tap in and be like, okay, I see why people like this person here. But Jack Harlow,
you know why? Because our culture no longer belongs to us, and they're trying to take it completely away. We're still in it a little bit. We got our pinky toe in it, but they're completely trying to erase the inventors, of hip hop. That's what they're doing. They're literally trying to erase us from everything.
Right. And speaking of that, and I can't click on this for some reason. I'm gonna have to go to Twitter. Let me stop sharing this. I'll pull it up in a second. But that's a good way to segue into the post of the week. Y'all know I got my new segment, the post of the week. And today we got another one from our brother Duan B. Duan B was the first person to make post of the week on SincereluvdagodCast, and I nominated him again this week. So let me find it. In the meantime, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Share this out on your social medias. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and click that notification bell so you could be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes. You are watching Sincere Love the Godcast. And we got another episode of the Black Business Showcase coming up this Wednesday. It's going to be our season finale.
Yay.
So definitely make sure y'all tune in for that. This is the end of season 1 for the Black Business Showcase. And we got a lot of our previous guests coming back to celebrate with us and to update us on whatever they got going on in their business, so on and so forth. So that's going to be a good episode, y'all. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us this Wednesday for the season finale as we get ready for season 2 as well. And I'm still looking for that post. So give me a second.
I think I know where it is. And then are we gonna have time to get into Jim Bojangles, Clyburn, and his
yeah, we're gonna have time for that.
This weekend.
Oh, here go right here. I keep going right past it. Here go right here. Let me pull this up right here. This is Sincere Love the Godcast post of the week or tweet of the week, whatever you want to call it. Don't matter if it's on Twitter or whatever, but this one just happens to be on Twitter. And like I said, this is from my brother Duan B. Shout out to Duan B. Hotep Ish Talk.
I like Duan.
Sure, yeah, he keep it a buck. Straight LA nigga. So an article about, can y'all see it?
It's a little blurry for me. Can you enlarge it?
I'm gonna pull up the actual article. Oh, I knew that was gonna do that too. Oh, I don't need the article. I want his thread. Y'all might not be able to see it that good, but I want to read the thread. And so he posted an article from 92.3 The Beat and their history of racism towards black male DJs. And I wanted to segue this from that Jack Harlow talk, because this is how we get where we at. You know what I'm saying? Where is he at? See, I only know how to use Twitter on my phone. It looks weird on the computer. Radio stations have kicked black DJs out of hosting hip hop and R&B radio shows, jazz stations included. Black music radio programs are all hosted by Latinos, white people, and non-FBAs. Yes, I have a problem with this. Ain't no black DJs hosting any of their music stations. So how is it that the people who invented the goddamn music don't got none of the jobs on radio playing the damn music? We're not the program directors. We're not the on-air DJs and personalities.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't think that that's strategic? That when you listen to urban radio stations where they're playing hip hop music, R&B music, that it's always a Latino talking to you on the radio, telling you what's hot?
Let me tell you, especially here, we got one. Well, Nick Cannon has a radio show, and all his co-hosts are Latinos, and so does Big Boy from Power 106. Same thing. He's the only black face, been doing it for 4 years, but everyone else on there are Mexican, basically, and he's married to one.
All right. And New York is the same way. You know what I'm saying? The Breakfast Club is not really about music. You know what I'm saying? Breakfast Club is like a talk show at this point. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to it on the radio, you know, they play songs in between the segments or whatever the case may be. But the on-air radio DJs is like, it's Angie Martinez, Cherry Martinez, Ebro, you know what I'm saying? Funk Master Flex, who is Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? There's no foundational black Americans who are dictating what's going to be coming up next in the culture.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be the next big thing in the culture? We're not the ones calling those shots when it comes to mainstream. And it's been that way for a long time.
You know what makes me mad here? Like, obviously there's police shootings and stuff like that, right? So on all these radio stations, you know, they have their little commercial, you know, and, you know, we want to, you know, hold police accountable to what they do to black and brown. And then they'll name, you know, Jamal Jenkins was killed yesterday. And this is why we need, you know, police held accountable in black and brown communities. And I'm sitting here like, if Jamal Jenkins, who's clearly black, was the one who got killed, why do you keep throwing brown in a situation?
Right.
Like, they can never let us have anything on our own, you know, or make it about, you know, fixing black America. You know what I'm saying? Right. And helping black Americans hold police or whomever else, white supremacy, accountable. It's always some other group being crowbarred, and even the commercials here. It's so frustrating to me.
Yeah. The commercials with the you know, with the shots.
Yeah.
The commercials with the voting situations. All the shit that you hear every time they say black, they gotta say and brown and LGBTQ and trans. It always got to be some type of slash going on, and that's a red flag. We need to shut that down as soon as we hear it. As soon as we hear it. If you can't just say black and stand on black, then we looking at you like an op.
Yeah.
If you got to always try to crowbar some other shit in and try to mash everybody in with us, we looking at you like an op.
And even if it's for, I guess, because obviously as a radio VJ, you don't have control over what you say on the airways, I guess. Is that why you think they're not allowed to just make it black? They're told what they have to say on the
that's
airways?
a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I've even Dr. Boyce, I listened to Dr. Boyce, and he was talking about, I don't know if it was Ice Cube or some rapper that he said told him that when they go to some of these radio shows, and if they're gonna have any talk about politics, they'll tell them you can't bring up, this is the only candidate that you could bring up. Whatever candidate that they getting behind, that's the only candidate that you could bring up. If you bring up Bernie Sanders or any of these other candidates, we shutting the interview down. And they make them sign paper. They make them sign paperwork before they get on air. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's definitely controlled in that way. And another thing that Dewan B said in that thread was, he said, you know, if Ebro, he used Ebro as a proxy.
He did. I saw it. He tagged
But
me.
yeah, he said if Ebro had to make music in his own culture, we wouldn't even know who he was. Paraphrasing.
Right.
Paraphrasing. If he had to be dependent on his own culture to have the same job that he got, we wouldn't even know who Ebro was.
And Ebro took offense to that. He tried to make it about race. And, you know, and Dewan was like, oh, I didn't bring up race. I said culture. It's different. Race and culture are two different things.
Yeah.
You know? So you trying to flip it, you know, on, you know, like I'm
Ebro responded?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's on there. Yeah. He responded.
I ain't see that.
Yeah, Dewan, he broke it down to him.
Yeah. We're not talking about your race, brother. We're talking about culture. We have different cultures. And the thing is, people have been so used to I don't want to use the word leech, even though in some cases that is the case. Mm-hmm. But people have been so used to us allowing them into our culture that they think it's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn around and tell us that we don't have no culture. And that's the reason why the FBA thing is so important. That's the reason why the distinction is so important, because we got to get certain things straight. We have our own unique culture. Not only do we have our own unique culture, we are the dominant culture on the planet.
We are the culture.
Everybody around the planet is watching what young foundational Black Americans are doing to figure out what's cool.
Right.
Always been that way.
Be it fashion, be it our work, you know, lingo, how we speak. You know what I'm saying? Dance, music, hairstyles, like everything starts, you know, and especially it starts in the hood, the foundational Black American hood.
Right. The culture comes directly from us. That's our number one export as a people. That's our number one export. The problem is we haven't claimed it. And that's the reason why we don't control it. Not just because they don't let us, Don Bishop. That's part of the situation, because, you know, they are the machine. They have the resources and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But the main problem is that we haven't claimed our culture, and we just said, hey, it's for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Moral thing again. See how moral we are?
Right. It goes back to the same way that they took over the land. Because we didn't claim the land. We said it's for everybody. You know, it's not my tree. The tree is for everybody. It's not our water. The water is for everybody. We didn't claim it as our own. We were just one with it. Like, sure, come on. We share with everybody.
We always had abundance until we didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
We were open
and so
to
we still have that problem. We still have that problem. But now we're getting rid of that problem. We're saying, nah. You know what? That's foundational Black American culture. We putting our stamp on that. We putting our stamp on that. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people are like, wait, what you saying? I'm Black too. Yeah, you Black, but you from a different culture, brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We all Black, but reggae music is not my culture.
Right.
I love reggae music. I like jerk chicken, but that's not my culture. You know what I'm saying?
But they're allowed to have their culture too, though, right? And there's no one saying, well, wait a minute, you know, you can't just say that, you know, that's Jamaican food. It's Black food. Everybody, oh, no, that's their culture. You know, let them have that. That's their culture. That's their thing. Anytime I hear arguments about that. And that very point is brought up. And the first thing that comes out people's mouth, well, that's their culture. So why aren't we allowed to have our culture?
Exactly.
Why do we have to share ours with everybody, or we can't put our stamp on our culture, but everyone stamps theirs?
Everybody stamps their culture, and we just doing the same thing. And the thing is that we just never did it before. We never done it before because we've been the only Pan-Africanist on the planet. We've been the only ones. There's been other people professing it out of their mouth with the word, but in action, we have been the only Pan-Africans on the planet. We have been the only ones that looked at all Black people and say, hey, we are the same. But it has not worked for us, so now we just cleaning up house. That's all that is.
That's it. No offense. We love y'all cousins because they're still our cousins,
Absolutely.
You're still our cousins and we love you, but y'all gonna get y'all act together too.
Right. And we claiming what's ours because now we got motherfuckers turning around talking about they created hip hop and all this other wild shit. I even seen an article talking about some European niggas talking about they came up with jazz.
Right.
Them motherfuckers had one hit. I think it was the first jazz record that came out commercially.
Right.
And they try to say, well, this came from white people. Like, okay, so why they didn't continue it?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? They had one hit.
Did you see also, since Kevin Samuel's untimely demise, some white man basically going in talking about, Kevin Samuel stole, his Manosphere, creation and content, and he got that from me. This is after this man.
I've been hearing that though, but even before he died, again, I didn't know about the Manosphere until toward the end of last year. Brother Great Black Shark and Sister Jade, the Lioness Crown, was putting us on to the Manosphere, telling me, sending me articles and stuff, trying to get me up to speed what was going on with this whole thing. And so there might be something to that because it started with the Red Pill Society, I think it's called. And those was a bunch of white boys kind of spewing some of the same rhetoric just about women. It wasn't just about Black women specifically, but just about women in general and about masculinity and, high value men and all of those. Some of those talking points and some of that rhetoric, I guess, started with that Red Pill Society. And then the brothers who were following them, they felt the racism, and so they went and branched off and started the black Manosphere because they weren't fully accepted in Red Pill Society. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Oh Lord, Dawn Bishop. Dawn Bishop.
That's already been debunked, bro.
Reggae started hip hop. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Reggae started hip hop. First of all, if you want to be technical, reggae comes from R&B music. All of the architects of reggae music will tell you, and there's interviews of them on YouTube. There's interviews of the first reggae artists telling you where they got their shit from. They was coming over here, listening to Fats Domino, listening to Motown and all of this shit. They was getting the records from over here, bringing it back to Jamaica, because they was coming over here working in the sugarcane fields, working in the citrus oranges and stuff like that. No, we're
not.
No.
We were. We thought we were. No.
Brother, there are things that are unique and specific to Haitian culture. Right or wrong, there are things that are unique and specific to Haitian culture and Haitian history. Matter of fact, if you just take Haiti as a case study, if you look at the island of Hispaniola, you got a bunch of Negroes on the island of Hispaniola. One side is Haitian, the other side is Dominican. Y'all don't even think y'all the same. Y'all don't even have the same culture.
Right.
Because one side had a French colonizer, the other side had a Spanish colonizer. And so when the Haitians take their ass over to the Dominican Republic, which is just the other side of the island, they got some shit over there called ethnic cleansing, where they be killing Haitians and tying them niggas up to trees and shit like that. And they look just the same. Dark as all get out.
I know black. What you talking about? I know black.
No reggae artist started the wave. You better study your history. What reggae artist?
Name.
What reggae artist? Kool Herc was not a reggae artist. Kool Herc is the godfather of hip hop, and yes, he's from Jamaica. But Kool Herc didn't start anything. All Kool Herc did, and shout out to Kool Herc, by the way. But Kool Herc had a party, my nigga. Kool Herc was throwing parties in the Bronx, and it was foundational Black Americans music who he was playing on those records. The music that he was playing was James Brown, right? And the brothers that was at the parties who was breakdancing, those were foundational Black Americans. The brothers who got on the mic and started spitting, those were foundational Black Americans, because you already had brothers spitting going all the way back to the damn 40s on record. On record, you had brothers spitting in the 1940s. Those gospel quartets, the Jubileers, Pig Meat Markham, Here Comes the Judge, back in the 1960s, was rapping. Muhammad Ali was rapping. Yeah, pull up to the shop. You know where I'm at.
Right.
Pull up to the shop. You're gonna get the same smoke, and I'm gonna have to go live from the shop.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go live from the shop and break down the history for you.
You talking to Mr. Hip Hop himself now? Come on, Don.
I'm gonna have to go live from the shop and break down the
history for you.
You're
not new to this, Don.
Listen, Kool Herc himself doesn't claim that he brought hip hop from Jamaica. Hip hop wasn't happening in Jamaica. Kool Herc said himself he couldn't play reggae music because niggas didn't want to hear that. He was playing funk records. Funk is foundational Black American music. We was already doing this. We was already rapping. We was already breakdancing. We was already doing graffiti. We was already DJing.
Why, though, does it have to be someone else's and not ours? And when we know that there's plenty of information out here, to combat that, I don't want to call it a lie, because maybe he believes that, and maybe
it's a lie. No, it's a lie. Whether you believe it or not.
I'm going to call him a liar, if that makes sense. I think that that's just the understanding that he has. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true, because you even get a lot of hip hop legends who are saying the same thing. Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Pete Rock. I think I even heard Chuck D say something to that effect.
I did too. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to get the facts straight. And the brothers who was there in the Bronx would tell you, niggas was clowning, to be honest, niggas was clowning Jamaicans in the Bronx at that time. The way they was dressing, all that shit, they was clowning them niggas. Keep it 100. If you was born in Haiti, on the islands, or wherever you was from, when you first came over here, you was getting clowned. Keep it 100.
Your ass was wearing Jesus sandals and socks.
Keep it 100. When you first came over here, and you went to school, or you came outside in your neighborhood, all them foundational Black Americans was clowning your ass. Keep it a buck. And then you got your swag together.
Right.
After a while, you got acclimated and you got your swag together. You said, okay, mom, I gotta get some J's, mom. Mom, take me to the barbershop, mom. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is clowning my hairline. You gotta take me to the barbershop. Everybody going over here to Smooth Cuts. I need to get my cut at Smooth Cuts. And you got your little swag together, and then niggas left you alone. You know what I'm saying? But when you first came over here, keep it a buck. Your swag was off. Even Slick Rick, who was one of the flyest niggas ever in hip hop. One of my favorite artists of all time, who is a Jamaican nigga who's from London. Right. He even talks about how he was getting clowned when he first came to the Bronx. And he felt out of place. He didn't really know nothing. He gave props to the foundational Black Americans who gave him his swag.
What do we hear most from people, though, from the diaspora or the Caribbean? y'all used to tease us when I first came here, y'all used to tease us. That's the very thing they still talk about. You got niggas 40 years old still talking about when they got teased by an FBA in the first grade about how he was dressing right now today.
Right. And to be clear, that's just another part of foundational Black American culture.
Yeah. Oh, we
gonna clown. We gonna crack jokes. We ain't just crack jokes on y'all. We was cracking jokes on each other.
Listen, I grew up at the school I went to. There was nothing but FBAs there and Hispanic people, Mexicans, but mainly foundational Black Americans. Before school, we purposely would get to school early because we would have what we call bagging circles. Literally a circle of kids, and the two people get in the middle and just go at it, and we take turns. And it was the highlight of our damn day.
Playing the dozens, cracking jokes, bagging, snapping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's part of our culture.
Yeah.
That's just something that we do. And a lot of especially Africans, they take it kind of personal. You know what I'm saying? They ain't used to that shit. They come over here, they take it personal, and they carry that shit with them throughout the rest of their life. Like,
because their parents had already said stay away from the Akatas anyway, and was already planting a negative seed anyway. So we playing and being who we are, which is foundational Black Americans, we didn't take it serious. We like, oh, he Black like us, so he'll be able to take a joke. And instead he internalized it. Plus, mom and dad already told you when y'all got off the plane, don't fuck with them. Leave those Akatas alone. They're this and they're that. So when we start bagging, it only solidified what the parents were saying because they didn't know how to take it.
That's a fact. And so, yeah, a lot of stuff can be traced way back because a lot of stuff is in our DNA. And we are one race of people, but we have different cultures. And within foundational Black American culture, a lot of stuff is new. You know what I'm saying? There are things that are part of our culture that we specifically came up with over here, and it resonated around the world. You know what I'm saying? That's just Beyonce, a fact.
Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and this is not to
Dr. King, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're the Michael Jacksons and the Beyoncés in their, culture. And I'm talking about on that level.
Right.
John, I don't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the thing. See, that's the thing. You was born over here. See, that's the thing. You was born over here. So you didn't have to get acclimated into the culture. But you got some family members that migrated over here. Ask them about the culture shock. Ask them about the culture shock. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And look, you even got people from the South that moved to New York and got a culture shock when they was kids.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
But this is Black people sticking together. I just said that our family in the diaspora is still our cousins, right? And let's be very clear. This doesn't, when we're clowning, or going hard and going in on our people from the diaspora, right? It's the off-code ones. Let's be very, very, very clear. And I'm gonna also need that same energy when it comes to the people in the diaspora saying negative stuff about foundational Black Americans. Because my thing is, you're not going to point and wag your finger at foundational Black Americans about what we do and say, and not the other way around. Don't wag your finger over here, not over there.
And look,
we're not doing that no more.
And look, I understand what you're saying about this is why we can't stick together. Look, I ain't trying to stick together
with everybody.
With everybody. I ain't trying to stick together with everybody. Nope. Division is good.
Boom.
Division is good. Power is not about inclusivity. Power is about exclusivity. Power is not about how many people you can get down with you. Power is about how many people can you exclude and what type of people can you exclude. And so us claiming our culture and our ethnic group is a power move because it excludes people.
And we're gonna wave our
yeah. Sac passe, my nigga. Sock by say, my nigga. Look, as long as you're not collaborating with the dominant society to try to undermine foundational Black Americans,
you my cousin.
As long as you are doing things that are conducive to Black empowerment, wave your flag all you want. We don't have a problem with that. We never had a problem with that.
But as soon as you
I don't have no problem with that. But why I can't wave mine?
Right.
Why I can't wave mine though?
Right.
I'm from here. My family is from here. You know what I'm saying? We have our own culture.
Right.
Which you are heavily influenced by.
Right.
My nigga.
You knee deep in it. You neck deep in the culture.
No, I didn't say nothing about getting off the plane. I said you said you was born in Queens, so I said ask some of your family members who migrated over here. They know what we're talking about. You was born here, so you know you grew up in Queens. Again, we didn't know that you was Haitian unless you said it. We wouldn't know that you were Haitian unless you said it. You was born in Queens. You grew up in Queens. You was just another brother.
Well, isn't that him differentiating himself?
Right.
So but now you're no longer just Black.
So when you saying you Haitian, is that divisive? Is that us? Is that us not sticking together when you say that you Haitian?
We can't have it both ways. She's foundational Black American from Louisiana. She's foundational Black American from Louisiana. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Those are still foundational Black Americans, by the way. We understand that there were people brought to this land during antebellum slavery from the Caribbean. There were also people brought to this land from Africa during antebellum slavery. But over time, they blended in with the rest of us who were already here, and they became something new, which is foundational Black Americans. They became foundational Black Americans. There were people who were here for thousands of years who were already indigenous to this land. There were people who came here later on as explorers before Columbus.
Right.
Black Africans who came here as explorers, you know what I'm saying, who mixed in with the people who were already here. There were people who were brought here on slave ships from Africa who mixed in with the people who was already here.
Which was and a very small number.
And there were people who were traded from plantations in the Caribbean. There were people who were traded from plantations. There were people from here, indigenous people from here, who got sold to plantations in the Caribbean during antebellum slavery. Those people now, their descendants right now, are Jamaicans.
Right.
They're Haitians, Trinidadians, whichever island they got sold to. They're what do you call it? Not their ancestors. Not their ancestors.
Their identity.
No, what's the opposite of the ancestors? Their descendants. That's what I'm trying to say. Their descendants who are there now, they're no longer Americans. They're Jamaicans. Whichever island that they got sold or traded to, they became something else because they blended in with the people there. They took on that culture. They've been there for a couple hundred years now. There's something else now. Just like the people who got traded over here, they're foundational Black Americans now.
Well, we're not divided. Well, again, division is good, you know, when we're talking about people that are collaborating with white supremacy, you know. So division is good in that aspect.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we're not only
against division.
Right. We're not only dividing ourselves from the off-code tethers that come from other places, but we're dividing ourselves from the off-code foundational Black Americans as well. We don't rock with Terry Cruz's and motherfucking what's this nigga name?
Clyburn.
Herschel Walker, James Clyburn, who else? What's them two girls' names? Silk and Diamond. Diamond and Silk. Jesse Lee Peterson. It's a lot of foundational American coons out here, and we call them out too.
Right. Everybody gets to work. Everybody.
Speaking of James Clyburn, man, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up. Shout out to my dude Calvin in the chat, man. That's my dude right there.
What's up, Calvin?
Calvin, that's one of my brothers right there. He gave me this book right here, Unequal Partnerships, and I got to get into this because we've been talking about reparations a lot. And my brother, you know, he's from the Caribbean as well. His family comes from the Caribbean as well. But he understands the importance of reparations and tangibles that are specific to foundational Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? He's an on code brother from the diaspora.
That's where the division talk comes from, because I feel like a lot of people from the diaspora are feeling like, you know, they're not going to get anything. You know what I'm saying? Or we're going to try to flex or something like that, which is not in our spirit at all. We've never been that type of people. But I believe that, you know, until this whole reparations talk happened, this is when I started to hear and see how unfortunately, a lot of people in the diaspora felt about foundational Black Americans. This is when I found out that Pan-Africanism was one-sided and only practiced in heavily within foundational Black American culture.
Yeah, you got a little hint of an accent. You got a little hint of an accent. We could tell a little bit, but for the most part, we don't even pay attention to that until recently. But yeah, this book right here, Unequal Partnerships, this is breaking down some of the history of the urban renewal that took place in different cities here in America, and how Black people became disenfranchised in a lot of these cities, and a lot of the land theft and all of that took place. I didn't get a chance to really get into it yet, but you know, just an overview of what it is. And so this is something that he wanted me to dig into based on this reparations conversation. He was checking out the debate where Marcel Dixon and dude from The Root, I forgot his name.
I know you're talking about Douglas dude. Douglas, last name Douglas, I believe. I can't think. Michael Douglas or something like that.
Maybe.
Something like that.
But yeah, he was checking out that debate or whatever. And so he was like, yo, I got a book I want you to check out. So I appreciate you for sending me the book, brother. I'm gonna definitely especially check out that chapter about Philadelphia that you was telling me about. And I'll be sure to spread the word. But let's talk about James Clyburn, man. James Clyburn had a fish fry this past weekend. His world famous fish fry down there in South Carolina. And it wasn't really business as usual. A lot of the B1 family, a lot of the foundational Black American family pulled up to the barbecue.
The fish fry.
Pulled up to the fish fry, and they had some questions for James Clyburn about reparations and all of that. And James Clyburn, he didn't really take too kindly to that. He got real beside himself.
Was he on that brown? Was Bojangles on that a little that brown liquor? You think he had a sippy sip?
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. But let me see if I can get this pulled up. I know y'all saying I should have had it ready, but just bear with a nigga. I got you.
Why would Black people have to leave our homeland and go to Haiti?
Wait, what happened?
I'm reading Don's question about slavery when Haiti broke free and told everyone in the U.S. who was Black, if they make it to Haiti, you will be free and we will protect you. Isn't that sticking together? Why would we leave our homeland to go to Haiti?
Well, listen, I know what he's referring to, because when Dessalines and them got the British and the Spanish and the French up out of there, they made Haiti a safe haven for anyone who was enslaved anywhere in the world. If you made it to Haitian soil, you was automatically free when you stepped on Haitian soil, right? And that Haitian Revolution, 1804, was part of the inspiration for Nat Turner Rebellion. You know what I'm saying? I said it in one of my joints. So I know what you're talking about, Don Bishop. You know, you're not really enlightening me. I said, what I say, man?
Your song.
Are we recording this? These messages coming through from the other side is something we can't afford to miss. I said something about that spirit in Southampton, Virginia came from Port-au-Prince. That spirit in Southampton, Virginia came from Port-au-Prince. So I'm talking about the Nat Turner Rebellion and how he was inspired by the Haitian Revolution. So I gave y'all props. But if we got to go back 200 years to find brothers and sisters in the diaspora who was on code with foundational Black Americans, then that says a lot. We got to go all the way back 200 years. We talking about what's going on now, because now we get a lot of Haitians coming over here telling us we ain't got no culture. We need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. Ain't no racism. I mean, do I need to pull up some videos? Do I need to pull up some videos with Haitians coming over here talking about ain't no white supremacy, ain't no racism, Black people lazy and all of this stuff? Do I need to pull it up? Or are you just going to concede? Are you just going to concede?
With Zaddy and Karen?
Right, but now back to James Clyburn now.
Right, let's get back to fish fry. Back to
the fish fry. Don Bishop, I see you trying to center yourself in this conversation. King Black News said he had the clear stuff. He said he ain't have the brown stuff. He had that clear stuff. But look, this James Clyburn, one of the brothers out there asked him a question about reparations. South Carolina Rep Jim Clyburn was old man cussing at us during his 2022 fish fry just for asking about reparations. Now, would he ever talk to the white LGBT, feminists, or illegal immigrants like he does to Black people during an election year? I wonder.
No.
Why y'all keep fucking with me on that?
It's on the screen, right?
Yeah, it's there.
All right.
I'm doing well. Listen, but I gotta go. But I appreciate the fish fry and everything. I did want to ask though. Reparations is a big thing.
Look, reparations are big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill. Why y'all keep fucking with me on that? I'm the only one doing the bill.
Yeah. Now, do he talk to white folks like that?
So why y'all effing with me about that?
Why? He said reparations is a big thing with me. Why y'all keep fucking with me about that? I'm the one that got the bill. The bill is to study, though. We don't need to study. We know what happened. Ain't no study because y'all not studying shit for these other groups. You just signed a bill for the Indians, the natives, or whatever. Right.
And there was no study. You cut a check, nigga, for some casinos. So we want the same thing.
Right. And that was your bill. All that money and land that went to the Catawba Indian tribe, that was your bill that you actually authored.
Right.
Not just that you got behind, not that you sponsored or pushed or whatever. You authored that bill where the Catawba tribe got their money, they got their land. No study, no none of that shit. And so the bill that he's trying to claim is HR 40, which is not his bill. I forgot the brother's name who drew the bill up. I think it was in like 1988 or something. But you bragging about a bill that been collecting dust since the fucking 80s.
Right.
Which
he said that too, though. He said something to that point, though.
Yeah. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. But listen, you're trying to brag about a bill that's been collecting dust for 40 goddamn years, and it's on top of that, the bill is not even a reparations bill. The bill is to study whether reparations should be a thing or not. So we're not here for HR 40. And I want to say this, shout out to the brother, who's filming or whatever the case may be. But if you wasn't going to stand 10 toes down, you should have let somebody else do this.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball with the question and almost accepted. He even, HR 49, right. Bojangles. We're not talking about HR 40. That's a nothing burger. We're talking about real tangibles. We're talking about cash payments. We're talking about land. Here in South Carolina, like all that, he was supposed to go in, and he didn't need to yell like I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But he should have
he could have did it in a calm manner, asked the right questions, and hold the man's feet to the fire. But if you're not that type of person, if you're not really confrontational like that, then you should have let somebody else handle that situation. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, brother. But you kind of let Clyburn off the hook with this shit.
He fumbled the ball.
Which bill?
The reparations bill.
HR 40?
HR 40. Okay. And I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years. And it's been around for 38. So why y'all keep telling me about a bill that's been there for 38 years? Well, older than my grandson.
Yeah. Because we're not telling you about no HR 40 bill, my nigga. We telling you about reparations. HR 40 is not a reparations bill. Right. HR 40 is a study bill. So we're not telling you, hey, what's up with HR 40? No, we saying why you not advocating for reparations for foundational Black Americans. That's what we asking you.
He said that bill is older than my grandson. So guess what? That's a problem. And you should be raising hell about that problem then in the position that you're in. Why aren't you raising hell about that?
Right. Since you the majority whip.
Yeah.
You the majority whip. You've been holding this position for 30 years. And you got a bill that's been sitting around that's older than your grandson, and you don't have a problem with that?
Right.
And you wonder why people got questions? And you're going to start cussing and all that? But Native Americans, you make sure they got what they needed.
Probably.
Illegal immigrants, you went hard for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got the sixth poorest district in the nation out of what, 400?
About 435, you're number 6. And when it comes to children, number 3.
You got the corridor of shame out there, which we're gonna talk about that one in a minute too, because Barack Obama broke his promise when he was in office. He talked about he was going to do something about the corridor of shame down there, and they still same condition it was when he came in, same condition when he left, same condition right now. You know what I'm saying? And so people get indignant when we ask for what we're supposed to have.
Right. And go touching back on that whole morality thing, right? We've been so moral and loyal, to the Democratic Party, to our demise. And so now when people want to tell us to be accountable, but when we're trying to hold the party that we've been the most loyal to accountable, everybody want to talk shit. All of a sudden, we can't do that right now. All of a sudden, we need more time.
Yeah.
What's
wrong? I've been up there 38 years, and y'all looking at me that I'm supposed to pass.
Be someone that is
we just want you to push it.
He said,
nah, homie.
If you don't sit your ass down.
Nah, homie.
No.
Nah, homie. You should have passed the sticks. You should have passed the aux cord, my nigga. Where was Marcel at? Marcel, I see Marcel out there. They should have had Marcel do this. Yeah. They should have had Marcel do this. I don't know. Maybe somebody advised him not to.
He got nervous. I think he got nervous. I'm trying to give him an out. I think the brother got nervous. He wasn't.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But the thing is, know your role, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the effort. I'm glad that you showed up. I'm glad that you turned your camera on and you did get this clip. Shout out to you. I'm not dissing you, whoever you are, brother. I'm not shitting on you at all. You know what I mean? But know your role and stay in your lane, man. Somebody else out there was probably better for this. You know what I'm saying? But I want to play this again. And it's ironic to me. If you can, try to listen to, and I'm gonna mute. Let me mute both of our mics so they can hear it a little bit better. Mute your mic real quick. All right, so we're going to mute our mic so you're going to hear us a little bit better. But I want y'all, if y'all could, try to listen to what the lady on the mic is saying as this little exchange is taking place. I found that to be kind of ironic, the stuff that she was saying, right? If you can, I don't know if y'all going to be able to hear it too good, but try to listen to what she's saying.
I'm doing well. But I gotta go. But I appreciate the fish fry and everything. I did want to ask though. Reparations is a big thing.
Look, reparations are big with me. I'm the only one doing the bill. Why y'all keep fucking with me on that? I'm the only one doing the bill. It's my bill.
Which bill?
The reparations bill.
HR 40?
HR 40. Okay. And I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years. And it's been around for 38. So why y'all keep telling me about a bill that's been there for 38 years?
Well,
older than my grandson. Yeah, yeah, but 27. That bill been up there for 38 years, and y'all looking at me that I'm supposed to pass it.
We just want you to push it.
So I don't know if y'all can hear that good or not, but she's talking about we need a leader that's going to be accountable. We need a leader that's going to represent us, that's going to represent their constituency. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's up there saying at the same time that this exchange is taking place, where this nigga don't, you know, he getting all indignant. People trying to hold you accountable.
Someone said, well, bitch, we here to hold this nigga accountable for this 30-year fucked up ass, history he has in this community. Damn it. Now sit your goofy ass down, because it couldn't have been me. I would have made a scene, y'all. Like, I know how to make a scene once in a while. I would have made a scene. The police really would have escorted me out, which we did see some of that. And the sad part about it was the officers that they had to escort some of these people out were young, and they were all Black.
Yes. A frontline leader to represent South Carolina, and she should be someone that is unyielding. I caught that too, because she said whoever she may be, like so whoever she's advocating for is obviously that there's some woman that they want to get to this seat that she's speaking on in the Senate.
I don't think that there's Marcel that's running, and then there's
no. I think she's talking about a different seat. I think she's talking about she's not talking about Clyburn seat. She ain't gonna be on the mic speaking about somebody replacing him. I think she's talking about a Senate seat that there might be, another seat that's available. So, but she kept specifying she. Maybe she was talking about herself. I don't know. Maybe she's running. I don't know who she was or whatever. But I just found it ironic when I heard those words, and I'm like, she's talking about how people need to be accountable to their constituency and all that. And here you got this Sambo that been in here for 30 goddamn years and ain't did shit for his constituency. Done things for everybody except his constituency.
Man. Oh, and then so Marcel had, his foot soldiers on the ground, and they were, passing out some of his flyers and stuff like that. And Bojangles, campaign manager came and told them that they weren't allowed to pass out flyers at his event. This is on camera. They caught that on camera too.
I'm laughing at Stark.
Right.
Somebody sound like Crispy. Why y'all keep fucking with me? Are you serious? Are you serious, everybody?
I was glad Marcel kind of didn't go ham, because it's like, you know what? This is still, to me, working out. This video here and several others actually works out to his benefit, and I believe that he should clip some of the video and add it to his commercial, or at least to his platform. 1,000%. He needs to run it heavily.
Absolutely. But yeah, again, sometimes you don't have to condemn a dirty glass. All you gotta do is sit a clean one next to it.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, all you gotta do is sit the clean one next to it. Shout out to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I was so happy and proud of seeing people walking around with their t-shirts that said tangibles and reparations. I was like, look at us. We here. We are here, and no matter what they say, it's not enough of us. It doesn't take everybody. It takes enough of us, though. It doesn't take everybody. Enough of us can get on code and dethrone Bojangles so that we can get what's owed to us.
That's a whole fact. But yeah, man, that does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Don Bishop, man, I'll be waiting for you to pull up to the barbershop, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can get a viral moment, because I'm gonna go live. And so I'm gonna have to give you this work, man.
A little light spanking ain't never hurt nobody.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you're gonna be getting all hyped, so Bo might fuck your hairline up, and you're really gonna be looking like a tether out here. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna try to get hype, you know, like y'all do with the best. Oh, I know what I want to tell y'all before we go. Man, speaking about basketball, y'all know it's playoffs. It's playoff season right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like what? It's almost to the conference finals, semifinals right now. Right? I went to the gym this morning and I'm sitting in the hot box and dudes is in there talking about basketball and shit. And they're going in talking about the playoffs and all that. And so I got my headphones on, but you know, they hype. So I was listening to an audio book, so I couldn't really concentrate and listen to what it was saying. So I paused it, but I'm still sitting there with my headphones on. I'm just sitting there, you know, listening. And these niggas keep talking about, it was two brothers. I don't know if they're FBA or not, but one of them sounded like he used to play in the NBA. He kept talking about how much money he made when he played and blah, blah, blah. So sounded like he played in the NBA or maybe he played in another league overseas or something. I don't know. But it was two brothers, and it was one younger Indian dude. And the two brothers, they kept complaining about certain players, how much money they making, and they riding the bench. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga always injured. He getting all this money, or this nigga don't hardly ever play, and they giving this nigga all this money and blah, blah, blah. And so I hate that. A lot of people be doing that a lot of times in the barbershop. Yeah, a lot of people be doing that in the barbershop a lot. And I always check niggas. I'm like, yo, why y'all don't never talk about how much money the owners is getting? How much money the commissioners is getting? The niggas in the front office that's wearing the suits. Because nobody ain't coming to see them. All the money is being generated from the players. Period. All the money is being generated from the talent. So if they getting their money, let them get their money. If they injured, they injured, my nigga.
Niggas hate to see niggas get money.
Like, you want a nigga to play whether his back hurt or not. Right. Like, nigga, I don't care. I want to watch basketball. You need to get on the court and play. Like, no, my nigga, he hurt. And he still deserves his money because the reason why the stands are sold out is because of this man. Yeah. It's because of these brothers. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving and all these dudes that y'all complaining about, they the reason why the money is being generated. But the thing about it was the young Indian dude was making more sense than the brothers. Wow. He had a whole different perspective on things because they was talking about, oh, yeah, KD a sucker. You know, he had to go to state to win a championship and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and the Indian dude was like, yo, you know what? I like the trade situations and all that. He was like, look, that was smart. He was like, because look, he was out there in Silicon Valley. Now he investing with all these investment firms. He linked in with all these investment firms and all that. And he doing things outside of basketball, really getting to the bag. This is what the young Indian dude was saying.
Right.
And the brothers are saying, you know, he shouldn't be getting paid all that money. I wouldn't pay that nigga. I'm like, Sambos.
But you know what? When you don't know money, you don't know money. See, this Indian dude is exposed to different type of conversations, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And we're the only ones that talk like this, I feel like, because a lot of us have not been around those money conversations. You know what I'm saying? We don't know no better a lot of times. Some of it is cooning 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to excuse the coons. But I feel like we don't know these money conversations. We don't see the bigger picture.
And the Indian dude made a comment to that effect. He was kind of saying that. He was like, it's easy for you to say when you ain't really seen no money like that. You know what I'm saying? And then the one dude, that's why I said the one dude, I think he must have played for the league or something. And he was like, nah, I don't have plenty of money in my life, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was making such and such when I was playing ball or whatever. And he was like, you know, I done seen some money, but he was still talking down on certain moves that the players is making. And I wouldn't pay this person this much and that much. You know what I'm saying? But they did. I was like, look at this shit here, man.
Lying. He was lying. Like, even with Ben Simmons, I don't know if anybody knows him, you know, with the league has kind of been putting him through the ringer or whatever. People were saying that he was lying about his injuries and all this stuff. And now this man got to have back surgery and it's going to be gone for 4 or 5 months.
Right. And people are still saying that's cap.
Yeah, still saying it.
People still saying that's cap. They saying that's a PR move. He ain't got to get no surgery. That's a PR move. Like, dude.
So he's just going to go under the knife for what?
Man, listen, let these brothers get their money, man. I don't give a damn.
What don't they think about the white players? You notice that white players literally don't go through any of the. First of all, there's no pocket watching any of them, whether it's the NBA or the NFL. You know, even when it came to the jab, you know what I'm saying? You see how they were targeting specifically the black players. White players, there was no conversation about them at all.
Right. Aaron Rodgers was allowed to lie. Right. Aaron Rodgers went on TV and lied and said he got the jab.
They just left that on the rug already. We heard about that for 5 minutes.
Right. So yeah, man, it's some bullshit. Yeah, and to me, if you're gonna dock somebody pay, dock them niggas, them white boys in them suits.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't generating none of this money. Ain't nobody coming to see them. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. But I just wanted to say that, man, because that kind of pissed me off.
The owners are busy going to them Asian massage parlors and, you know, doing little, you know, stuff with their little money, you know.
Say that again.
I said those, you know, owners, you know, going up in them Asian massage parlors, getting little stuff, you know, and little money. Yeah.
Oh yeah, doing something strange for some change up in them jobs.
Strange for some change.
But anyway, family, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in to Sincere Love the Godcast as always. This was another cool episode right here, man. Good conversation. Great perspectives as always. You know, if I do say so myself. You know what I mean? Good feedback from the chat.
Thank you, Don, for tuning in today. Thank you, Don. Hope to see you next week for the Black Business Showcase for our season finale.
Absolutely. Yeah, make sure y'all tune in Wednesday. Wednesday is the season finale, season 1 finale of the Black Business Showcase. And like I said, we got a lot of the guests that's been on the show coming back on Wednesday to chime in with us. I don't want to name no names. Certain people confirmed, but you never know, things change. You will see who shows up, you know what I mean, and who doesn't show up or whatever. Either way, you know, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. So we're going to have a nice round table. We're going to have a nice Black business round table where we're going to chop it up with all of our previous guests that show up for that season finale. And we're going to end it off proper like, you know what I mean? And then we're going to just take a break for a few weeks and we'll be back with season 2 with some more new dynamic guests for y'all and all of that. You know, we might do some rebranding and all that. You never know. You never know what you might see coming up, but we're going to do what it, make it do what it do, make it fly, all that good stuff. So yeah. Got anything you want to say?
No, you know, good night. Thanks for joining us. And see you guys on Wednesday.
And so y'all know how we do, man. Keep in mind, we are not the master teachers. You know what I mean? We just the master students. And signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Not the old Black media, but the new Black media.
That new shit.
Peace and Black love.
Peace.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move.
Black America. While we celebrate symbolism of having a Black woman in the White House and a Black woman in the Supreme Court, right now as we speak, Black women are the most likely to lose their house. Black men have the shortest lives. Black children have the highest suicide rate. And even though we are around 15 to 20% of the population, we are over 55% of those living in the streets. We are going to be third-class citizens in the nation we built. We better wake up and vote for real policy. Vote for Greg Marcel Dixon. Repair Black America to fix America.
What would you think about a parent whose children are hungry? They let them starve. Likewise, here in South Carolina's 6th Congressional District, we are the 6th poorest district out of 435 total as of the year 2021. And yet, where is our Congressman, James Clyburn? I can tell you, he says he will be in California, in North Carolina, and Florida, and Georgia. But what about the needs of South Carolinians? I was born here, I was raised here, I live here, and I'm going to be here. You will never have to ask, where is Marcel?